Hey traders, I just wanted to share a little information about this doggone EU trade that I just put up, Euro USD. All right, let's start with the monthly. Let me give a little analysis. Let's start with the monthly. The first thing that pops out to me is I see this long time trend to the downside, right? And if we line it up just right, we could see that we have broken that trend. This trend has been going on since 2008. And we finally broke to the top side. We came over, tested it, and then popped to the upside. What this is here is an ICI. That is, if I can find the tool, I can never find the tool when I need it. Okay, all right. What we have is a impulse correction and an impulse. This is the ICI, right? All right, impulse, correction, impulse. And when I see these things, all right, I always want to make note of where the support is and where the resistance is in structure, right? Here we have the trend line being used both for resistance and resistance here, but now as support. All right, we want to bear that in mind. And when we also see that we have a new level of support. This was resistance. This is going to turn support. Do I expect if price comes back to this level, that I would be expecting a test of this area right here. All right, being tested as support as it starts a new ICI. All right, making new higher highs and higher lows all the way up. Now, let's let me clean this up. All right, let's go to the weekly. All right, on the weekly, what do I see? All right, we get a closer picture of this ICI area. All right, and we can see this was this support area was a double bottom, which is a powerful signal to let us know that prices are going to take off, especially in an uptrend as it's impulsing to the upside. We want to make note of that. We also want to make note that here in this ICI, in this impulse, we have this candle here. We want to make sure we make note of that candle because this is where price created structure. All right, and when it creates structure like that, you know that it's going to revisit it, which it did here and here. We would have known that once price tests this and it reacted this way, that lovely wick rejection, we know that on the another test, it's going to there's a high likelihood that it's going to do that again. This is a great setup for a long, especially if you're a day trader or a scalper, right? Let's go to the daily and see what we can see. All right, on the daily. All right. Okay. What we first thing I want to notice is my trends. All right. And when I draw my trend lines, I want to include as much uh, 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 wicks as possible. I want to get as many hits involved as possible. Like here, 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 here. Those wicks. I want to make sure that they're all counted. All right. That gives me a clearer idea of where price is respecting, along the way of a trend. Okay. We've broken structure. We've broken structure. So price is on its way to test a different area of support. Now, what I want to make note is that during this impulse, during this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, all right, we've got a nice channel going. Come on, man. Come on, man, work with me. We got a nice channel going, and I love to plot out my what do you call these ascending channels, if I can do it fast. All right. If I can't do it fast, I don't bother doing it. All right. And I shouldn't have bothered doing it this time. All right. But anyway, skip the channel. But so yeah, so I want to make note of this break in the trend. Once we break this low, then we're no longer in an uptrend. All right. And I also want to make note that this is our last support area. All right. So what happens when the impulse, we have the prices just made a lovely impulse to the bottom, to the downside, excuse me. And once we went past that support, it becomes resistance. So here we are now. Here we are now at this resistance, right? All right. And we know this is a significant level of resistance because we can see a test of it as resistance over here and as support here. This is what I would consider a key level. All right, let's go to the 4 hour so we can see this very clearly. Now, it just so happens we have some confluence here as the key level. The key level is right around a let me get this good. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, this key level is right around the area where we broke the trend line, where we broke structure. All right, let me get rid of this, matter of fact, and let me give a proper line. This is the way I would have drawn it. Okay, and we come back up under it, test it here, test that line here, which is pretty excellent. Actually, this little divot here is bothering me a little bit because that's not what I see on Owanda, and this is FXXM. Okay, but it's negligible here. All right, so we're coming back. This is that line. Now, when we come to the ICI, you want to use your Fibonacci from the start of the impulse to the end of the impulse. All right. This way you can measure how far back the correction will be. All right. And we see that at the 50 EMA, or the 50 EMA, the 50 Fibonacci level, we can see that price it aligns perfectly with this area of resistance. All right. And on Owanda, I believe this is this wicks down actually to right around this area, but it's in this zone anyway. And this zone is, like I said, is a key level because you can see that it's been used as both support here, resistance, support, both as it breaks it here as breaks through the resistance, come back above, and then test it again as resistance. It breaks through the support here rather, and we see it as a resistance here, right? So this is a strong area, and I'm expecting price. I expect price to reject from this area, but I want to make note of something. This here is the 618. This is the most powerful of the Fibonacci. Is the most frequented rejection area of retracement. Excuse me. Oh, great. All right. So there is a chance that price pushes through this 50 level and hits the most frequented at the golden zone 618. And this happens to be where that EMA is. So it could test this area. All right. So something like this could happen. I did it again. Something like this could happen, and then it drops down. All right. This area here, because it has different color candles, that means it's made structure along the way. So these are going to act as speed bumps when it comes back down to reaching this as a TP. You know, if you're going to target these lows as a TP, you know, you might have a little trouble getting there. It might do something like this, you know, then come back and then come through. So be expecting something like that. But we want to see what price does in this area. If we go to the lower time frames, you could see, excuse me, you can see, price is having a bit of a time over here. It made a little pit stop. It had a reaction at this 50 fib level, but we have gone past this high. That's a concern. That's a bit of a concern for me. If we break the other side of this zone area, all right, then that means we're gonna visit this 618. All right, and you can see at this 618 level, it has been used for both resistance and support here, right? So that's not a bad area to. This whole area is not a bad area to look for entries, but you want to get in entries that the candles will tell you, hey, this is a good entry. All right, you want to look for the evening stars formation. You want to look for the engulfings. All right, you know, you want to look for those big wick rejections. All right, that area. Now, what wouldn't surprise me at all if we get a wick up, but never a close above this area. If we just get that kind of action, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. Okay, but I am looking for this area to reject and head down.